Hello, hello. Here I am. Can you guess where I am? It may look familiar. Let me turn the camera around so you can see where I am. Here I am. I've learned to pan. And here, for anybody in any place that's not getting much sun, here's some sun for you. But I'm out for a hike. Look at this, huh? It's so green. I'm back in Southern California, back at that retreat center I had been at before. I've come back. I was out in New Mexico for a week and then Utah for a week. And then realized that it was time for me to come back here. And so the shifting that I mentioned in my my comment at the beginning, my description, is that I realized that at least I think at this point, what I'm learning is this thing shifts as I go. So I can have thoughts about what's happening at some point and then it changes, which is actually, I'm learning to roll with that and that it's a good thing. So it's like, it's okay to make a plan or make a decision and then have it change. And like, that's just part of it. Doesn't mean that your decision or your plan or whatever was wrong or incorrect. It's just a stepping stone on the path. But what's come to me is I was feeling when I was out in Utah in Moab, I did leave I haven't done a Facebook Live since I was here last, I think. Or did I? I can't remember. Did I do one in New Mexico? Anyway, I don't remember. But so I left a video when I was out at Arches National Park, which, man, that country there is beautiful. But what's come to me, I realized I wanted to come back here to this retreat center as a place to just kind of come back, do these amazing hikes. It's so grounding, and I know it's time to integrate everything. I've been on the road for just about 6 months now, and it's time to integrate everything. I feel really different. I feel like a lot has changed and transformed in me. I've let go of a lot. Been on the emotional roller coaster, some really, really deep lows, and some really amazing highs. And I feel like now it's time for the next month or so to just be here, integrate, settle, allow spaciousness for the next move to come in. Because I feel like I'm kind of in a place of, I'm actually going to Peru in March on a retreat that was supposed to happen 2 years ago. It was supposed to happen right when the shutdown happened. So it's been rescheduled. So I'm scheduled to go there in March. So I'm going to be here till then. Oh, look at, oh, wait. Come on. See that raven? Look at, can you see it? I don't know if you can see it. I've had the ravens. I'm in love with the ravens. They are just the most amazing things. So it's time for me to integrate. And I feel like at this point anyway, that the traveling part of my journey is over. And it's time to integrate and allow to come to me, as well as actively participate in choosing and making a choice where I want to live. And that sounds, the raven is saying yes. It's funny because that sounds so simple and so basic, but yet to me it's like, I don't know why it's so hard, actually. I don't know how many of us, I'm curious to know what your experience is with this. Hi, Judy. Hi, Jill. It is amazing here, Jill. My goodness, it's a remarkable place. So how often do we ask ourselves and really ask ourselves, like, what do I want? What do I really want? Like, what do I want my life to look like? And I've been realizing so often, like, when I look back on my life, yes, there have been active choices along the way, where I chose certain things, I chose what college to go to. But even that kind of, I don't know, it just seemed like almost like default living. Not always, but, you know, when I look at the path of my life, like where I've lived, I lived in Massachusetts all my life, and I always, for the past 30 years, wanted to move, quote, out west. But then life happens, right? And then, I don't know, the next job comes along, or you meet somebody, and then you're in a, you know, you have this really intense relationship, or this really intimate, you build a life together. And I don't know about you, but for me, like, I stop asking myself, like, well, what do I really want? So here I am now, and that's the big question, because that's what I get to do right now, is say, well, what do I want? Now, I've traveled around. A lot of my travel out here, I realized, is like, you know, I've traveled out west a fair amount, and the first time I ever came out here, came west of the Mississippi, was I came out to Moab, Utah, to do a women's river trip through the Canyonlands on the Colorado River, and that, it was so profound for me. I was 30, I think I turned 30, actually. Just after that trip. I think it was in August, and my birthday's in September. I seem to remember celebrating my birthday in a Denny's in Pocatello, Idaho that year. So that would have been 1992. So that was the first time I ever came out here. And I'll tell you, Moab is an amazing place. It's like massive red rocks. If you haven't watched my video, you see some of it there. And so, you know, just ending kind of at Moab feels really fitting. It's like full circle, because it was there that I got really bit by the bug of like, man, I need to move out west, you know? So here it is 30 years later. Is that 92? Help me do the math. 30 years, right? Boy, oh boy, that's half my life. That's half my life. So yeah, so now I've revisited these places, the various places that I've gone. It's like I just needed to check in with them again. It's like, again, coming full circle. And I thought when I was coming out here that there was going to be a place that I went to that was going to, oh, here comes another raven. Wait, I'm going to turn it around. Watch, check this out. Can you see that? Hope you like ravens as much as I do. I can't even tell if I'm showing you this or not. But anyway, oh my God, you guys. Let me turn this around again. They're so close. Can you see them? I can't even tell if you can see them. They were like about 5 feet away from me. Wow. Anyway, I hope you're as amused and appreciative of ravens as I am. What was I saying? Oh, getting to choose. You know, so I've like checked in and visited all these places, and I was hoping that some place I went would, like, I've had people share this with me, that they've gone somewhere, and as soon as they like either landed on the plane or entered an area or went somewhere, they just knew, like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be, you know? So I was hoping for that to happen, and it hasn't. So what I get to do now is integrate and co-create, meaning to, you know, decide, really tune in, like, what do I want my life to look like how much density, population density, ocean, mountains, you know, city, which is a no, because I'm not a city person, but how rural. And because I know I don't want to be like out in the middle of the boondocks by myself. I want to be in community of some sort, you know. So I get to really ask myself these questions, like, what do I want my life to look like? And then go and make that happen, while also staying open to kind of guidance, right? Like, because things happen, amazing synchronicities happen when I open to that too. So it's so that's the space I'm in right now. So I'm here until middle of March, or beginning, I think the 12th is when I go to Peru, and then I'll be in Peru for a week and a half. And then I'll be back, and, you know, hopefully between now and then, I'll either make a decision, or when I come back from Peru, then I really need to very, very actively engage in this process of making a decision. So that's where I'm at. And it's interesting, you know, like this time of year, right? Like late winter, early spring is where life starts to come back alive, right? And out here, I mean, holy smokes, it's very, very alive. And I mean, it's always alive, even in the winter, right? It's just dormant. But, and then also with like the pandemic, it feels like even that's kind of winding down, right? So it's just always amazing to me how things unfold as well. So you actively participate in it, but it also just has a way of unfolding in its own cycle. So I'm going to leave it here. Oh, Susan's here. Hey, Susan. And all right, so I'm going to leave that here, and I'd love to know how you're doing. And I'll be back. Maybe I'll try to post before I go to Peru sometime, or in a couple of weeks. Keep you posted on what's going on. But I think this journey is probably in the spring, April or May, going to be coming to a close, at least in terms of the traveling part of the journey. The journey will always continue, though, especially the inner journey. But life, right? As long as life's happening, it's a journey. So signing off, sending big love to you all, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.